Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So here I am with the review video for this TNT here. I'm gonna be introducing this bike and gonna give my honest review to owning this bike for like 3 months, and I have ride it for 1500 kilometers. I think it's gonna be enough to explain the bike, how to ride, what things to be monitoring on this bike. So here is the new version of 2022 Benelli TNT. So the new version comes with the inlet LED lights, and there is nothing a lot of changes, only the sticker. The last version, which had there was 600 written, but this one only has the two colors, black and green, and Benelli as well with the 600 sign on that. So this is the exact same bike as before, nothing has changed, just the stickers on the back and the front are changed. And this one is not the high standard, this is the low standard bike, so it does not have the rainbow brake clips. It only has the Benelli clips from the Benelli itself, same as well in the front. It has the shock absorbers from Benelli and the disc brake from Benelli. When you get the high standard comes with the rainbow brakes and rainbow shock absorbers. So this is the same naked street legal bike with 600cc displacement of engine. It creates 80 horsepower on 11,000 RPM, and it is same as other Benelli's, 6-speed gear with seat height of 800 meters, 170 millimeters for ground clearance. Same as before. It is very heavy. It is very heavy. It creates of 233 kgs. It's very heavy, but when you're riding it, it's very smooth, very nice to ride. So I personally love this bike. For me, everything I love about this bike, like the look is very huge, the face is very huge, everything. So my personal feelings about this bike is, I'm gonna say I really love it. I really love the bike. I really love the riding and the maneuvering of this bike on the streets, cutting between the traffic. It's very comfortable to ride this bike. Of course it's heavy, you need strong arms to hold it, and the power here, the race, actually, if you are not very aware of this bike and you want to ride it, if you mistakenly accelerate very fast, you're going to lose control. This one picks very fast because anyway it's also it's a sport bike with a 600 displacement. It's very fast, also it's very heavy. If you are not aware of riding a big bike or a sport bike, I suggest do not experience on this bike. You can first experience on a smaller bike and then you can move on to a bigger bike. This one is really dangerous because a lot of time it happened with me when I'm riding and all of a sudden I want to accelerate and I mistakenly accelerate a little more. I almost lose control and fall down, but thank God that I was aware of that, so I used to de-accelerate so fast to get control on the bike. So for my personal 1500 kilometers which I ride, I feel this bike is very good. I really like it. The fuel efficiency is nice. I don't use a lot of fuel on this bike, even I ride it fast. There are some bad parts of these bikes too, but definitely I feel everything is nice. The information cluster, the LED lights, the new design of the new look of this bike, and the seating, and I will sit and let's see how it looks when I sit on the bike. Sorry, my helmet is on the back, I don't want to drop it. So you can get a feeling how it looks when you're in riding maneuver. Maybe I can put it on stand and then we sit. This is actually very comfortable when you ride it. I really love the riding of this bike, and the steering wheel is very light. This is steering, it's very light. It's easy to maneuver in heavy traffic or something. You don't get tired, your arms do not get tired. It's very easy to ride on the road. Let's talk about the engine from here. This is the same 4-cylinder water-cooled engine for this Benelli. Sorry for the dirts, because this is one of the bad part in this Benelli which I don't like. I personally like to have a clean bike. I personally very much like to have a clean bike, but each time I ride it outside, as you can see, there is a lot of dirt on the engine parts which comes from the front wheel. This is one of the bad part which I don't like on my bike. Each time I have to go out, I have to come back and I have to clean this bike again. even there is a lot of rain or something, I don't ride it, but definitely there will be some water somewhere on the road. So if I hit that water, all this place is gonna get dirty. So this is what I don't like on this bike. Just these are some small parts which I do not like on this bike. And second one is the same. You can see I have installed an aftermarket mud plate on this bike, because if I ride it, the back wheel also push the water and the dirt on the bike is straight on my number plate and on the exhaust under that, and it gets very dirty, which I don't like on my personal feeling. I don't like to have dirt on my bike, so each time I have to clean again and again this bike. These are some of the bad parts about the bike. Rest, everything is okay. I only have the issues with this bike is only this thing. Now let's check the information cluster. Let's see how it looks. I'll put the light. We focus here on the, so this is how it looks when you put it on the ignition light. And after that, when I press the key, there is a sound that checks the engine. It's clear, so now we can turn it on, and that's how it sounds. Let's wait for some seconds and we're gonna listen how does the engine has creating sound. Alright, I actually already ride it, so now let's listen. Let's listen. How does this bike sound? Let's listen. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I personally feel 4 cylinders create a great noise. I am not able to change the exhaust, so these are the stock exhausts on this bike. I feel the sound is good and I don't need to make it more loud. Yeah, for me, definitely let's get it turned off. For me, I'm gonna say definitely this sound is great. The 4-cylinder sound on this bike, on a street legal bike, which you can ride everywhere with no issues. I think this sounds great, and I personally feel very good when I'm riding it on the streets, and I feel people are staring at me from left and right. They're like, ooh, what bike is that? What bike is that? But definitely it's very cool to ride. And there is one more issue with this bike I'm gonna mention, is the gear change. So I don't know it's because of me or because of the system itself. So each time I change gear from 1 to 2, which is going to be upwards from here, which is going to be upwards. So each time when I change gear from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, there is a clicking sound. Maybe it's because of it's a heavy engine and I'm changing gears on early or maybe less RPM, which I have to change maybe to do it more and more, increasing RPM. I'm not sure, but maybe it's because of my riding, like how I ride it, maybe because of me. But I personally feel this thing I don't like, but maybe it's because of me, or maybe it's because of the engine itself. I asked once to the showroom and they answered me, all the big bikes are like this, more than 500cc engines. Most of the bikes, they have this clicking sound. It's normal. But I personally feel, and I have seen a CBR 650R or something like this, and there is like Kawasaki 1000, BMW 1000. I have friends, they have ride it. I never ever heard that sound on their bikes. Maybe because they are more professional and in riding, so I don't feel their sound. But I personally, with me, because this is my first sport bike, before this I was experiencing on a 300. Well, 300 is just a normal and it's not so very heavy, very not powerful. So that one is a normal bike, but this one is a sport bike. So maybe because of my riding abilities, I have this sound. But I personally don't like these 3 things. One is the gear changing sound. Second, I don't like the dirt on this bike. That's all. I think third is the same, back wheel dirt. This is what I don't like on this bike. Rest, the riding, everything is very nice. Now let's record a flyby on this bike. Let's see how does it sound on a small average. Alright, let's see how does this bike sound. We heard the gear sound already. I don't wear any helmet because I'm not on the road. No safety. We're just around the park.